magazine.
Yes.
Yeah,
So even those things come together, like at the end of the day, if because yeah, everybody just sees what the media hypes up, and then they're reactive.
yeah,
As human beings, we're all reactive, and at the end of the day, if we take you know um, a 10,000 foot overview, in reality, um, it's a rat race because you're scouring
yeah,
very fast, very quickly in order
yeah.
to assist your clients. So some clients say, okay, well, that's it. I thought it was over.
Hmm.
No, well, we want to make sure that you're in your home, um, you know, boxes to the point where you're organized enough to function, and then obviously cleanups are ongoing on a number of places.
Absolutely.
So having the ability to work with people who are also of the same mindset, it also helps. So I think there's a little bit more that a realtor would provide you, other than just put a soul sticker on and review an offer, right?
Yes, 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 that's true.
Yeah.
So, guys, we are talking with our colleague from Abbotsford, BC. You can reach him at 778-999-1531. Did I say it right, Amrit?
Yes. Yes, you
Oh my
did.
God, I don't have any screen that shows your phone number today, but I think it got stuck in my head now. 778-999-1531. Does 1531 mean anything?
1531. No, it doesn't. It was my last four digits of my number
Your
in
social
uh,
insurance number.
in in the Middle East. So it was 1531 in the Middle East as well. So and
Well, my
then
number. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
999. As you know, in India, you call 999. It's emergency, right? And
I don't
in
know.
in England, 999 is
England.
emergency.
Okay. In India, it is 100. I think,
Oh, I didn't know that. Here it's
yeah,
nine
in
eleven,
100
nine one
place.
one.
And I think 101 perhaps for fire. I don't know. We never used it. But my last four digits, my phone's last four digits, they spell as care, CARE.
Oh, wow.
So 647 333 CARE. This is how it's spelled. And I used to when I came to Canada, I started with some part-time job in accounting. Then I was hired later on. Then someone told me there's a lot of money in trucking. Then I took AZ license or AZ license. And at that time, I made a corporation. The name was Care Logistics. So my dream at that time was that okay, I will drive for some time, then I will have a few trucks, a fleet. Then I will not be working. I will actually have drivers. So I created everything in line with Care Logistics. So the number came Care. So I got Care in line with Care Logistics. So I stopped driving truck in 2008, February, March. But this number, I never let it go. Because my business is still caring for people.
Mm-hmm.
So then someone advised me that okay, you just took a license in real estate, so why don't you drive cab? For 6 months, I drove cab in Brampton, and it was not easy, man. I cannot take people swearing at you or talking nonsense in the back seat, trying to flare up a racial conversation. And I wouldn't be driving much though. I would just leave the car in a parking lot, go to my real estate office, attend training, and the guy at head office will keep asking, "Where did you just vanish?" They thought I'm picking up fares out of their site. So I said, I am just doing my business. I'm learning because taxi driving is not helping me know the locale. GPS had just come at that time. There were no GPS built into the cars, and I was given the night shift. It was terrible, man. I had a big fight, verbal duel with one ODSP guy. He started swearing at me. I just dropped him at the place and said, you know what? Call someone else to pick you up. And I went to the head office, handed the keys in. I said, I'm not driving from today. That was the last I drove cab. And
Wow.
I paid for monthly leases from my own pocket. I wasn't making money. It wasn't helping me, and it was against my mindset. Not that the work is bad. It's, everything doesn't suit everyone. So someone has to find the niche they want to work in. So I left cab, I left driving totally, and then I'm full time into this industry. But care stood alone. So 647 333 care. You can never forget my number.
Yes, 333 care. Yeah, it's an amazing story because again, your intentions in order when you did the logistics wise, yes, you're caring because the service you're providing is sending the necessary goods across Canada, right?
Hmm.
North
Yeah.
America, and then taking people from place to place
Hmm.
in the taxi cab. Again, you're putting someone where they need to be for emergency, for whatever work they're doing, and people really don't think too well.
Yeah.
They end up they end up being rude and ungrateful,
Yeah.
um, and we've just tried to care,
Yeah. It
right?
is
And
not easy, man. Yeah.
it is a really upsetting thing. I'm sad to hear that. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah.
The mannerisms that some people have, like we understood, people are reactive, so their behavior levels are never always going to match to ours. So we got to take a look back at them, slow things down almost to a point where, okay, before this person speaks, I should be
Hmm.
able to really kind of calm myself down before
Yeah.
I flare up, right? Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we being creatures, um, creatures of habit,
Yeah.
maybe our initial reaction is always to react in a bad way and defensive.
Yeah.
Um, so again, you've done an exemplary thing, and transitioning you into this job or
Yeah.
your real estate career is just elevating you to another level because at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. You're doing it. You're doing
Yeah.
it every day and making things happen, making people's realities come true.
At midnight one day, I got a family, uh, father, and I think two of his children. I picked them up, adult children, not grown up kids.
Mhm.
Father was also grown up, and he started talking very much profanity about a sexual encounter he had he made up with some brown girl, and he was glorifying it, trying to flare me up and see how I react. I literally had to shut down my ears. I say, okay, you keep saying whatever you want to say. I am not reacting to it. Right? You did whatever you did, but I am not reacting. This is kind of people you meet. And sometimes you pick people from those pubs or bars, they're drunk, they don't know what they're saying. But it hurts you. So when you come back, you don't feel happy about what you are doing. I
Mm.
pity those people who have to go through all this every day of their life because they chose not to exit out of it. So when I took a decision to quit cab driving, I took a firm decision. And there is twist to the dialogue. The story that I just told you about this ODSP guy who sweared at me and was very rude. He met one of my colleague driver a few days back, And he asked, "Oh, where is that guy about me?" And he said, "Why?" He says, "Well, I wanted to apologize to him because I was rude to him." And he said he left driving the same day you were rude to him. He's not cut for this kind of crap. And he was so sorry. And the guy called me up. He said, "Well, I picked the same guy up you had a duel with, and he's apologizing." So I forgave him. I said, "Okay, I can't keep that thing in my mind for long, but I still know how it feels when you're driving cab and people start talking nonsense. They don't understand. They are, I don't know what kind of people they are, but they try to incite you into doing some wrong act, so maybe they can escape paying you." It was hard work. It was very hard work at that time. I've been through many such incidences. That's how I said, no, 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 this is not what I'm cut for. So real estate was hard. It still is hard. It's not easy selling. It's not easy helping people buy. But I just take pity to those people who just put up, or real estate agent do nothing. They only come, sign the agreement, put a source for sale sign, and look for other people to sell the property. That's not true. We work our ass off. Sorry for my language, but we do work our ass off to get something sold. It takes me about 7 to 15 days to make the property presentable before it is shown to public, and keeping the confidentiality about price till it goes public.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. People end up sharing their price, and then something sells for higher price. They try to raise the price, then people say, "Oh, okay, but why don't you list it for that low price before?" I hear that all the time. So we are custodians of their privacy. We're custodian of their secrecy, where they're moving, when they're doing, what they're doing. We are an iron wall between the two ends. So
Exactly.
nobody loses any information and nobody's taken advantage of. This is all we do all that.
We got to hold things together, right? At the end of the day, we got to hold our also our egos in check, right? It's not a matter of us saying, "Oh, we got an extortionate price for this particular client." That's the market dynamics. At the end of the day, we were
Yeah,
there to facilitate the ability of the buyer, and then two, the ability of being flexible with the buyer's
yeah,
requests, and also the seller has to be a buyer at the end of the day as well. They have to move.
yeah,
So keep doing what you're doing, because at the end of the day, you don't realize how many people's lives you're changing. Um,
absolutely.
the
That's what we
trials
do all the time.
yeah, the trials and tribulations are going to come thick and fast, and you know over over the course of me being back in North America, i've
Yeah,
i've started to lean into reading English translation of the Guru Granth Sahib, and there's so much meaning.
yeah,
And I know this is not a religious talk, but
yeah.
and a lot of the things that these new modern day age motivational speakers say
Hmm.
relate quite close to some scriptures, right?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, I can't really bother myself on what you think about me, because it's none of my business,
absolutely.
right? You got
It's
to
none
just
of your
stay in your
business.
lane.
Yes,
You got to
that's
you got
true.
to you got to make sure you're at your fullest ability in order to perform what
Yeah,
you promise yourself in the morning to perform for the people you're there to serve.
yeah, that's true. That's so enlightening, Amrit. Amrit, as you are aware, I hear Bank of USA, American, they have some different setup. I forgot what they call. They raise their interest rate by 75 basis points. And our announcement is due on September the 7th this year. August is the only month when people can take some deep breaths before their blood pressure goes high. So, what do you think? What is your perception of where the rate would be next announcement on September 7th?
The Bank of Canada is going to do what the Bank of Canada is going to do, and their whole objective is to try and get the rate or the inflation down as much as possible. Now,
Mm-hmm,
are they doing this purposefully in
mm-hmm,
order to curb the inflation? Uh,
mm-hmm,
in reality, time will tell. But in how would it help? How would it help the economy if rates go up?
mm-hmm.
In reality, the question we should be asking the Bank of Canada, if the rates continue going up, there's going to be a pinch on the amount of consumers, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think the Bank of Canada will not go 75 basis point up. My thought is that they will only be either 50 or 25. We are already running very low. We don't necessarily replicate American values. Systems are somewhat similar, but we have different perception of the mortgage, how it works. And Americans are different. They're totally different. They are already cheap on so many things, right? So they are already cheap, and their mortgage rates for them, because the prices there are very less compared to what Canadian homes are for. So the
Mm-hmm.
ratio has to, somewhere be kind of price versus increase. There has to be some kind of logistics for those kind of rates, right? So
Right.
I think we are already heading toward recession. That's where everyone is talking about now. And from soft landing, you never know when they will start saying, oh, it's going to be hard landing or crash. Crash is the hardest landing, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how it works out. But I think the bank will hold the rate at a lower rate rather than 75 basis point. And ask me any logic. There's no logic. It's my gut feeling. Right? That's all I can tell you. We are looking actually going down these days. It's going to be very hard for many families. If you look at RBC's report about U.S. economy, it says it contracted again in quarter second. The GDP in U.S. Decreased by 0.9% in second quarter, adding to the 1.6% quarter one drop. So it further went down. And they also say the weakness relatively broad based with offset from stronger service consumption and a larger net trade add. So these things are slightly being compensating them with they're offsetting those things. Still resilient economic backdrop and elevated inflation to keep Fed on a more aggressive hiking path, slowing consumer demand further down the road. So what it means, I guess they may aggressively increase the rate during next announcement as well, right? So that's
Right.
going to have some ripple effect on Canadian economy. But let's see where we go. But
100%.
they also say that second consecutive decline in GDP in quarter two does not qualify as a recession on its own. They say other indicators on balance have looked much better. Industrial output rose by an annualized 6.2% in quarter two, which is a good news, and the economy added another 1.1 million over the same quarter, including a 372,000 increase in June. Both retail and wholesale sales are still at levels well above pre-pandemic. Indeed, there is hardly evidence for NBER three criteria for a recession: depth, diffusion, and duration. all being met at this point. So they say we're still away from inflation. So let's see where we go to. This is how those economics actually are predicting.
Right.
And
We
you see
hope.
the bank, yeah, you see the bank sees home resales falling nearly 23% this year and 15% next year, with the national benchmark price falling a total of 12% from peak to trough by the second quarter of 2023. People get confused by these numbers. Well, they hear 23% and they say, oh my God, it's a lot drop. But this is composite drop across all the markets, right? When we talk about drops, I'm sorry I don't have those numbers today because I'm not on the platform I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
We probably will discussing it next time when we are together, when I resume my live broadcasting. The numbers are different for different housing. The smaller homes, the prices haven't gone down too much, like condominium apartments, condominium townhouses, freehold townhouses with POTL or without POTL, which is parcel of tied land, and semi-detached homes. The biggest drops are in the houses of value over $1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
So that reflects in those 23% drop. And people, they just generalize that drop. Oh, your house was $1 million in February. No, it is 23% less. I will pay you this price now. It doesn't work like that. Maybe from February, the semi went up. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
townhomes went up. So people have to be very realistic when they talk about prices. They need to know exactly how the kind of houses they are buying changed in pricing over time from February to now, from last month to this month. This is how they will figure out. And my suggestion is track at least 3 previous months and see how average drop or increase is happening, rather than making a fancy decision and offer someone 23% less. They are going to tear your offer away, and maybe I don't want to say anything else. Throw right on your face.
That's right.
You have to respect for people's house values. Of course, the market is changing. It is adjusting. It is over adjusting now, I would say. We are still not in buyer's market for many house types. So maybe for condos, it may be a seller's market. For semi, it may be a seller's market or a balanced market. For higher end houses, it could be a buyer market. So, different segments of housing at different kind of demands. So these newspapers and media, they will only report what people want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Price dropped, prices dropped, right? But they will never go into micro numbers and tell people this is right, this is wrong, and all those things. How is your
Yeah,
market doing?
they're just going to make a broad statement and then see what reactions they get from the people. The market here, things are carrying on. Obviously, there's opportunity.
Yeah.
It really depends on where people's position is. I mean, a lot of people were fortunate enough to have um, bought 20 years ago, and then they're really
Hmm.
seeing the great value in selling now and then relocating to um, either downsizing or moving away from the mainland, moving into the interior,
Hmm.
where you can get a little bit more of a rural feel, right? So,
Yeah.
as you said, segmented portions of the real estate are going to be in different positions at different times.
Yes.
So, let's think about the dynamics of the immigration. How many people are going to be coming in? Are they going to be mostly families? Are they going to be professional bachelors who are going to be setting up their families over the
Yeah.
course of the next 5 years? So, investors who've got cash, they're going to be moving to make those. reduced uh, reduced price cash offers, right? At the end of the day,
Hmm.
they have cash and they don't need a mortgage. They go in and acquire a property based on their financial strength.
Yeah.
So it really depends. The market still moves on, um, and hoping that everyone's able to make ends meet. It's definitely, I guess, it's definitely nerve wracking for some, if things aren't moving as quick. I mean, you get too used to 7 days or 14 days on market and being sold.
Hmm.
Whereas in the olden days, a home could be, 60, 90, 180 days.
Yeah.
The right buyer had to see the value in it.
Absolutely. So this is what I have for viewers. Talking about the condominium market in Greater Toronto Area, the year-over-year change in the number of sales have come down by 35.2%. We're talking about condo apartment sales from last year to now, the drop of 35.2%. But look, the average selling price year over year went up 12.2%. So what price last year was 686,498 average price of condominiums. Today the price went up to 769,999, or let's call it $770,000 from $686,000, right? And then total new listings, they kind of stayed steady. It was 0.9% drop. Last year it was 14,440 listings that flooded the market. This time it is only 14,316 listings, which is not a big difference. And sales to new listing ratio has definitely come down. In 2021, 61 listings were selling per 100 new listings in a month. But now only 40 of them are selling versus 100 of them. And Amrit, I think most of this trend is because of lack of consumer confidence. They don't know should they buy, should they not buy. Many people are unable to buy now with changed debt service ratios. It's not that they don't want to buy, they want to purchase a house, but service ratios have gone so up that they cannot afford to buy it anymore. So that could be one reason for not buying houses and sales to new listing ratio falling down. It's not necessarily that people are not buying, they want to purchase, but unfortunately, they are stuck in a situation they cannot get out of it. And the number of days have gone up. You want to take a guess on how many number of days it takes on average to sell a property, Amrit?
35 days.
Last year it was 13 days to sell a property. Last year in June, last quarter, it was quarter two 2021, it was 13 days to sell a property. In quarter second 2022, it has gone up by 15.4%. Don't you think this number looks way bigger?
Hmm.
But
Yes.
actually, but actually, it just changed from 13 to 15 days, 2 more days on an average to sell a house. And if I tell someone, oh, it takes 15.4% more time to sell your property, people are going to get scared. When you tell them that no, it's used to sell in 13 days, but no, it is 15 days on an average. Don't think they will even blink an eye,
Right.
right?
It's having,
Is
yeah,
that
that's the
what you
right
talk
thing.
about that?
Yeah. Having putting the numbers into reality, right? At the end of the day, you tell them, okay, this is what it means. They're just they're just the audience of the fear mongering, right?
Someone on TikTok was selling his course, saying, "Learn how to sell your house by yourself because agents take too much commission." And now this guy will make money because he's talking the same language. People, the homeowner, want to listen, and they will pay him $100 to register and lose that $100 rather than work with a qualified realtor. I pity these people, man. I really pity them. You can always compare how a homeowner sold his house versus how an agent sold the house on the same block. People would then stop, complaining or ranting that they take too much. It's so ridiculous how they talk about these things. And in rental, the number of rental transactions have come down as well. It is 11.4% below the last 2021's quarter second. Can you believe that? And we say rental have gone up. Average one bedroom apartment rent has gone up by 20.2%.
Wow.
What was renting for 1887 last quarter, last year second quarter, is renting out for $2,269. So it's increase of about, I would say, 370 or 300. I'm trying to do the math. 340, $382 more. $382 more. I'm good at mental mathematics sometimes. $382 more for rental of one bedroom from 1887 to 2269. And the total rental listings have also come down from 24,688 in second quarter of 2021 to 17,335 in quarter two of 2022. That is 29.8% decline. So rent went up by 20.2% for one bedroom. Number of sales, they came down by 11.4%, and the new listings are also shrinking in the market. So that means it will drive the market up more and more. This is how this works,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Supply and demand, right?
Supply and demand. And in residential sales, 41.4% is the year-over-year drop in number of transactions. In June 21 last year, 11,053 houses sold. This time, it is 6,474 not dollars, houses that sold. Why do I always talk in dollars? I don't understand it. It is 41.4% drop. And if you see trend from last month to this month, it is 4.7% drop in the number of transactions.
Yeah.
In May, they were selling 6,204 houses, but now we are selling only 5,910 houses. And average selling price have gone up from last year by 5.3%. It's a good increase. Guys, you never know when this will be 10, 15% again.
Mm-hmm.
Take your pick today. And from last month to this month, May to June, the drop was 3% in home values. It is all seasonally adjusted value. Last month in May, the value was $1,175,111. Now it is $1,139,957. Slight drop. Slight drop means 3% drop.
Mm-hmm.
There is an increase in number of new listings. Hey, that's a good thing. And sales to new listing ratio has come down from 68% to 40%. Same as condominiums, 61 to 40%, right? So it's 28% drop in the number of sales to new listings. That means if 100 listings came in a market, 40% sold, 40 sold there. And number of days on the market have gone up by 41.2%. Amrit, are you hearing this?
I'm hearing that. Yeah.
Property days on market have gone up by 41%. And that means they were selling for 17 days before, but
Right.
now they are only taking 1 week more, 24 days.
Right. So just be the message is to be patient, right?
Just 7 days change in
Mhm.
data. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
7 days change in data means nothing. I don't know why people keep talking about it. It is such a small change. But when you say 41%, yeah, many will pee in their pants. Trust me on that.
Yeah. It's all depends on how the numbers are looked at, right?
How you want to sound those numbers there.
Exactly.
It all comes back to us, how we talk about the numbers. Are we
Yeah.
scaring or are we just encouraging? This is just the mindset,
Yeah.
nothing else. So if you look at in my neighborhood, Amrit, I don't know about what you have in your neighborhood, but if I go one day back on the data, this is what I see on in region of Peel. We have a region of Peel that comprises of Mississauga, Brampton, and another municipality called Caledon. There have been 101 listings that came in market just from 27th of July to this time, 11:49 a.m.
Hmm.
101 listings came into market, right? And then about 33 houses changed values, change in price happened. And then if you will go further and analyze the data, there are four listings that did not go through the sale process. The deals fell through. We call that as DFT. The deals fell through could be because of many reasons. One of the biggest reason is appraised values, right?
Right.
Some people are developing cold feet. They say, okay, take away my deposit, I cannot close it. But it's not about just deposit that you lose. You may have to pay more money. You want to talk about that, Amrit? When someone doesn't fulfill the promises under the agreement of purchase and sale,
Hmm.
it's not that they just lose their deposit, they lose something more as well.
Yes. I mean, you might look at you don't know what the other end is doing, right? Maybe they had
Yeah,
banked on the sale of their house to complete something else. So performance,
yeah.
yeah,
Performance, and
specific
if the
performance.
seller, let's say you bought this house in May when the
Hmm.
market was doing better than today, and you paid 1.5 million for a house, and your closing is coming now, like say 3 months closing. So you're closing in May, June, July. Let's say the closing end of July. So when the appraiser is ordered a week or 2 weeks before closing, the appraiser doesn't come at $1.5 million. The appraisal may be 1.2 million.
Hmm.
$300,000 deficit is not an easy thing to jump over. It's a lot of money. So people in these cases will say, you know what, don't want to buy this property. You can keep my $100,000 deposit or $150,000 deposit. I am okay with that. But that is not how it works. If the seller has to sell that property for $1.2 million to a third person, third party, so he's losing 300,000 from what you offer to buy for and what the seller ended up selling for.
Hmm.
So not only you will lose the deposit, seller can go after you for the remainder of $300,000 as well, because we are talking about the contract law. Contract law is strictly enforceable, and courts can decide in favor of sellers. So now you lost your $100,000 or $150,000 deposit. You are being sued for the remainder loss, $300,000, and you never got the house.
Hmm.
all the hassle plus this problem that you lose peace of mind too. So for those people who are thinking on these terms, my suggestion is do not go there because that is a very dangerous territory. You may want to close your property by taking private mortgage, which is available. Interest rate is higher, but at least you will have peace of mind. Maybe after 1 year, if the payment is too much, I know people get scared of paying too much mortgage payments on private and second, but then you own the house. Your rental expenses go zero. Now you only have to pay mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Factor those numbers into annual appreciation of your property. If it is 5% increase every year, you're still saving something. Okay? So, and you save your 100,000, you save yourself from the legal suits. You don't have to lose your peace of mind. You get the house, but of course you're paying higher mortgage payment to private lender. That's okay. Maybe 6 months later, things will be different. So my suggestion to all those people who are going through this scenario is to try to hold the property and don't let the deal fall through. And 18 listings in Peel region sold conditionally. Awesome. This number used to be zero, Amrit.
Mm-hmm.
From 2017 to pre-pandemic or even during pandemic, this number seemed to be zero. And 43 houses sold but haven't closed yet. Sold and closed are different scenarios. They're
Right.
pending. And I hope they don't end up in DFTs.
No.
40 listings were taken off market. This is all about Peel region's housing market watch. And 4 listings were expired. They didn't sell. They didn't sell, and 12 listings were suspended. Suspended means it is still listed with the brokerage, but the showings have been stopped. That is what suspended means. So the seller cannot sell on their own unless the contract period passes. It expires.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why people go to suspending listings.
Well, sometimes it might be just a simple matter that they're trying to reconfigure something, right? It really depends. Yeah, we get into the same scenarios here as well. You know, you get canceled, protected, or terminated. So sometimes you'll see a terminated listing. Maybe they're in a position to reprice or basically pull it off the market until they think that it's improved a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I don't have the exact details, but you know, the number of sales have declined substantially, but there's still property selling because people have had the opportunity to close, you know, with 3 months ago and have the pot of cash to transition. So there's a fair amount of activity continuing still in the Fraser Valley region.
Yeah.
You know,
That's good. Yeah.
the slight drops might be reflective of the fact that maybe everyone's trying to go on a holiday at the present time, or stuck at the airport. At the end of the day, it really they don't take the whole picture into consideration.
Yes.
You know, there might be a slight increase in a day-to-day transaction because there are also people from the East Coast traveling for holidays
Mm-hmm.
to the West Coast with the possibility of looking for property as well.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
There are
those
people
people,
moving from Toronto to BC as well. It
yes,
move always keeps going. And BC is a beautiful place to live at.
yeah.
Greenery, less snow, except for last year. I think last year it snowed too much, right?
Well, we had a lot of snow, right? I mean, the good thing about BC is there's 4 seasons.
Yeah.
You know, yes, there's plenty of rain, but then there's also the sunshine. I think we've had fortunate summer now. I think we're coming into um, average 28, 29-degree temperature,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is
Wow.
which is hot for British Columbia, right? So
Yeah,
people,
well, your snow is also softer than Toronto snow. We have
yeah,
snow like hard rock snow here.
yeah, and yes, we do get a little bit of snow, but not as much as you guys. You guys, I mean, roads come to a standing halt when snow comes up, highways especially over here. Your side of things, they're more equipped for handling harsher weather, right? So
Well, we become kind of Eskimos
yeah,
during during the winter months. We're living in cold areas. What's that bird that flaps its little wings in snow? I
penguin.
forgot. Penguin. So we all walk like penguins in the snow, trying to save our bones from cracking
Yeah,
and breaking.
exactly.
Right?
But well, there was, I had some of my family travel to Winnipeg the other day. No, not the other day, a couple weeks ago, and so it's scorching hot out there, and they had to go to the local mall.
Mhm.
So I think they were the only people in the streets going to this mall, and so they thought, oh well, why is this? Within Winnipeg, you can go from end to end of the city in sky bridges and underground tunnels, which is where
Uh-huh.
everyone is. That's where they were, right? So, um, sky bridges and underground tunnels is really where things I see as a benefit. Um, have you been to Winnipeg?
Never yet. I plan to someday. I hope I could be there. But
Yeah,
well, never been. That's on my bucket list, but I don't know when I'm going to go there.
there's a lot of history
But
there too, right?
yeah, Winnipeg?
Yeah,
Awesome. Maybe I will hear something from you very soon. But
yeah,
look, Amrit, with your encouragement, we did our live. It's
yes.
been 1 hour and I didn't realize where the 1 hour went. And the contractors were gracious enough not to make much noise in the background. So we'll continue this platform till we return to our actual Zoom session. No, Zoom session, actual broadcasting software. But in the meanwhile, I would request everyone to kindly go to our YouTube channel, give us a like, subscribe to it if you can, and share it. We are also available on Twitter at GTA Home Genie. That's what I used to call myself, GTA Home Genie. So we can produce a home for you anywhere you want, on lake or in skies. You got a home. You cannot lose your home. So you need a professional advice. We two people are wise men of real estate. So give us a shout. 647-333-CARE and triple 778-999-1531. I remember it thoroughly now. Can't forget it.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Yeah, no, always more welcome because this was a software I talked to you. I used to run it before I actually shifted to a better and much software with way many capabilities than this. But it works good too. I have no complaints about this. For whatever it is, it does work very nice.
Yeah, it
But
does.
anyways, yeah, we will soon be able to add some tickers to it, which I don't have, but sometime sooner. Thank you very much, Amrit.
Thank you.
You have something to say before we close this session?
Well, just encouraging people on their journeys. Carry on with enjoying the summers, enjoying the time with family and friends, and learn from the little hiccups that we have. I
Yeah.
think this might be one of the little hiccups, but um, it it'll make you more robust. So enjoy your journeys on the day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and before I leave, I have a small testimonial video about the kind of work I do. Here it is for you to look at.
This guy called Paul Cheema online. He explained everything to us, and he made it so simple. So Paul, he has his, experience, which he uses to favor his clients. We got this one, we like it. Paul explained everything well. He worked from scratch, to the finishing phase. He sends down the forms, asks to read the forms, and what I don't understand, I ask questions, and he answers the questions, and with form explanation, I was able to to sign those forms. But Paul is always right on the spot. Like when you call him, he responds back right away. And then when there's something to be done, he shows up for the appointment, and then we do it. He doesn't joke with his business. The business of taking you to the home, explaining things to you, recommend, taking you to the lawyers, or bringing your lawyers or whatever. He explained everything to you.
So what I know is Cheema is a very good person. I remember the first time I spoke with him. He told me that, okay, don't worry, we're going to do this together. I don't like pushing my clients, but I will let my client to choose whatever they want. I will let my client to decide, and I really appreciate him for that. He doesn't really push us to do anything. He makes you to decide. So I think that's what I like about his business together with us. And I'm happy the day we came to this house that we were able to get this house and everything went well. I'm happy about that.
It's very, very responsible and very professional. We have a good experience with him. I wish anyone out there, I would recommend Paul. He's gonna do a good job.
That was great. I did a good job.
Yes, you did. That was awesome.
Yeah. So thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry for the little hiccups that I do all the time. Maybe it's the age thing coming into picture. But thanks for reaching out, sending a message out, and encouraging me to actually. I totally forgot about this setup. We're back again. Thank you very much, Amrit. God
Okay,
bless
sir.
you.
I'll see you
Call
soon.
Amrit at 778-999-1531. Yeah, 5 comes before 3. Even though it is a bigger number than 3, but it comes before 3 and 1 on both hands. So it's so easy. 1531.
One
That's
five
how I
three.
remember your phone number.
All
Take
right.
it. Bye bye.
Take. Bye.